Hello everyone, we are moving towards our section once again. Welcome, dear students, in English Work Bharati Standard 12th, lesson 1.2 on saying please, part 3 or the last part of our lesson. Today we are going to discuss revision of the lesson. In the last session, we studied that the author A.J. Gardner continuously speaking about the need of following common courtesies in our general life. Author narrated an incident in his life where he was found penniless, moneyless after entering a bus, but a good-natured conductor saved him from further inconvenience. Without any show off and without any insult, author was tempted to write on him as he wanted to mark peculiarity of his nature. He wanted to say that effect of any good action can be felt after many days and cannot be lessened or decreased. Now this is the next paragraph we are going to discuss. A few days after, my most sensitive toe was trampled on rather heavily as I sat reading on the top of a bus. The bus may be a double decker bus, and the writer, the author A.G. Gardner, he sat on the top of a bus and he found that his most sensitive toe was trampled on. It was crushed under another man's feet, and that is why he said that his feet was trampled on. And I looked up with some anger and more agony. It was a thing of extreme pain. He was feeling the extreme pain of toe getting trampled by someone else. So there was anger and there was agony, and in that anger and agony, he saw his friend of the cheerful countenance. When he looked up, and who was there? To his surprise, his friend, the conductor, he was there with the cheerful countenance, with his cheerful face. He was there. Sorry, sir, he said. When the feet was being trampled by him, what he said? Sorry, sir. I know these are heavy boots. I got them because my own feet get trod on so much. Every day he is moving in the bus and his feet get trampled, and that is why he thought to have such kind of a boots, and now he is also trampling others' feet. So my own feet get trod on so much, and now I'm treading on other people's. Hope I didn't hurt you, sir. See, this was the polite manner, this was the polite words expressed by the polite conductor, and he told him whatever reasons why he was wearing such kind of a boots, and he also hoped that he didn't hurt him so much. He had hurt me, but he was so nice about it that I assured him he hadn't. Actually, author's feet were crumpled, what we can say crushed. His feet were crushed or trampled on by the boots, but he made it sure. He assured the conductor that he hadn't trampled his feet. After this, I began to observe him whenever I boarded his bus. Whenever the author entered his bus, climbed his bus, he started observing the conductor and found a curious pleasure. It was unable he was unable to explain why he likes to watch him, why he observes him, but he uh, expressed over here that he made it clear that he likes to watch the conductor which was there. So he found a curious pleasure in the constant good nature of his bearing. He was a person of a good nature, and that is why he always liked to observe his manner, his social actions which are there. Those can be non-verbal actions or body language, his body behavior, whatever we can say, his body language, his full facial expression, and all those things. That is why he said that I like to observe him. He found curious pleasure in the constant good nature of his bearing. Bearing means his demeanor, his manner, his posture, everything, his social behavior. He seemed to have an inexhaustible fund of patience. Inexhaustible means unlimited. The conductor has inexhaustible unlimited fund of patience, means he has lot of patience, he is full of patience, and a gift for making his passengers comfortable. Not only he has a lot of patience, but he also he was also trying to make his passengers comfortable. I noticed that if it was raining, he would run up the stairs to give someone the tip that there was a room inside. So he was trying to help at every time, every minute. He wants to be helpful to each and every person who came along his way. Now, see, when it was raining, he told people, he running to the stairs and told people that there was a room inside so they can enter the bus and they can have a seat. With old people, he was as considerate as a son. Considerate means caring or considering. When he encounters he when he come in front of old people, he started behaving like a son. So when he came in front of old people, he was always considerate, or what we can say, caring for those people. And with children, as solicitous as a father. He behaved just like a parent, having a parental quality, means caring and concern once again. So he behaved just like a parent, or the one whom we can call as a parent. So the children, for with the children, he also behaves just like a father. He had evidently a peculiarly warm place in his heart for young people, and always indulged in some merry jest with them. So he always took interest while indulging with young people, and he had some kind of a merry jest with them. He always have a kind of a merry talk with them. If he had a blind man on board, it was not enough to set it down safely on the pavement. If there was a blind man in the bus, then he not only took care that the person get down safely, but he also do further arrangement. He would call to Bill. Bill here it means nickname of British police. He will call the police in front of to wait while he took him across the road or round the corner or otherwise safely on his way. So he was always there to took the responsibility of a person who is there in the bus. If there was a blind man, he make it sure that the person will get down safely on the pavement. He will call the police and he will make sure that the person will go safely on his way. In short, I found that he irradiated such an atmosphere of good temper and kindliness that a journey with him was a lesson in natural courtesy and good manners. So, whatever he was doing, it is full of courtesy and full of good manners, and all his actions are full of kindness. Kindness. That is why the writer here says that he spread or he produced the friendly atmosphere which is there, and that is why the journey with him is always a lesson in a natural courtesy and good manners. So we can learn from him. He is always there with his good nature, so we can learn so many things from him. Activities on this extract. Good manners are required in our daily life for making our social contacts more cooperative and friendly. Illustrate the behavior of the polite conductor with different people in various conditions or various situations. Just now we have discussed about various his behavior with different people in various situations. The situation and behavior we have to fill the information in this chart or in this table. The writer's sensitive toe was trampled on, and at that time, what was the behavior of the conductor? That the conductor said sorry with an apology and courtesy. So, this was the behavior of the conductor when a toe was trampled on by him by of the author. Next is in the rainy season dealing with people. In the rainy season, he ran up to the stairs to give someone the tip that there was a room inside. So he is always cooperative and he gave the tip that there was a room inside. While dealing with old people, how was his behavior? He was as considerate as a son. Just like a son, he took care of the person. While dealing with children, he was as solicitous as a father. So what we can say, according to the situation, his role get changed and he behave in a loving manner with them. Dealing with young people, whenever young people are there, young people boarded in the bus at that time, what we can say, how was his behavior for them? There was a warm place in his heart, and he is always indulged in a merrymaking with them. He was always there in some kind of a merry jest with them. While dealing with a blind man, he not only set him down safely, but also he will call the police and he will make sure that the person will get down or the person will reach safely wherever he wants to go. So this kind of a behavior is there. So that he is always helpful and cooperative to each and everyone who boarded his bus or climbed his bus. Next extract. What struck me particularly was the ease with which he got through his work. If bad manners are infectious, so also good manners. If we encounter incivility, most of us are apt to become uncivil. But it is an unusually unkind person who can be disagreeable with sunny people. So here once again he is talking about the polite nature of the conductor, that if we are there we get easily infected by the bad manners. No, if the person in front of us is full of uncivility, is showing impoliteness, then we also get easily infected. And just like that we should get infected with good manners also. So it is said that, but it is an unusually uncount person who can be disagreeable with sunny people. Here the author call him sunny people. Sunny people means full of happiness, full of inspiration, full of enthusiasm, just like that. So we can call him as a sunny person. So it is with manners as with the weather. Just like we on a sunny day we feel fresh, just like that if the person is of a good kind of a nature, then we are always comfortable with that person. So it is with manners as with the weather. So just like a sunny atmosphere is a good one, it helps us to feel fresh. Just like that, a sunny person or sunny people, they also with their behavior, they also mm, let us feel happy and fresh in our life. Nothing clears up my spirits like a fine day, said Keats. Here we have a reference about John Keats, the poet, that nothing clears up my spirits like a fine day. And a cheerful person descends on even the gloomiest of us with something of the benediction of a fine day. So, if we have a cheerful person around us, he is just like a blessing for us. He made our day. He is always there to make sure that we should not get through any kind of a suffering. He's always there to take care, and he's always there to help us. So it is just like a benediction of a fine day, or a blessing of a fine day. And so it was always fine weather on the polite conductor's bus. Due to his manner, his polite nature, there was always a good kind of atmosphere in the bus, and his own civility. His conciliatory address. Conciliatory means very friendly addressed and good humored bearing. He is always there with his friendly behavior. He is always trying to win hearts, and he is always there trying to win friendly feelings of people who are there in his bus. So his conciliatory address and good humored bearing infected his passengers. The conductor, he made the atmosphere very comfortable and full of ease. So it is said that it infected his passengers, that everyone who entered his bus feel the happiness, comfort, and ease due to this polite conductor. In lightening their spirits, he lighted his own task. His gaiety was not a wasteful luxury, but a sound investment. The manner, the social behavior shown by the conductor is very helpful to do his work, to do his task. He feel them lighted, he feel them made them to feel relaxed, and that is why while he was working, he was also at ease when he was working as a conductor. So what we can say, that his gaiety is not a wasteful luxury, but a sound investment. The type of a language he uses while he is speaking with other people, it is just like a sound investment. And the way he speaks, people also return with the same kind of a what we can say, polite behavior or manner with him. Now we have to solve the exercise. Enlist the qualities of the conductor you come across in the last two extracts discussed. In the last two extracts, we have discussed various qualities of the conductor. Now we have to enlist this. What are the qualities? That the conductor, he is a caring person, he is good natured, he is good humored, he is sweet spoken, he is polite, he is understanding, he is cooperative, he is well behaved, he is civil, he is cultured, he is mannered, he is very cheerful, he is very easygoing with everyone, he is solicitous, he is considerate, he is friendly, he is warm, and he is loving with everyone who is coming on his way. So there are various qualities. He know how to do his task well with the polite manner. He's there who make feel comfortable, who made people feel comfortable while they boarded on his bus. So there are various qualities, we have enlisted most of them over here. I have missed him from my bus route of late, but I hope that only means that he has carried his sunshine onto the another road. His sunshine means his polite behavior, his mannerism, his good mannerism, which is there. He's good, humored, good natured person, and that is why wherever he would go, he will spread the sunshine, or he will spread the happiness of his caring nature. So it cannot be too widely diffused in rather drab world. There is no other way in this rather uninteresting or dull world by which we can spread the happiness or the comfort and ease which is there due to the polite manner shown by a person. And I make no apologies for writing a panegyric on an unknown bus conductor. The author, he was tempted to write on the conductor, though he was unknown one, and that is why he was ready to write a panegyric, means what, a speech or piece of writing to praise someone highly. In this paragraph we found that he was praised highly by the author, and that is why he wants to say that he made no apologies for writing a panegyric on an unknown bus conductor. If Wordsworth could gather lessons of wisdom from the poor leech gatherer on the lonely moor. Here we have one more reference of the poet William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth, he was the famous nature poet, and he gathered lessons of wisdom from the poor leech gatherer. The poor leech gatherer was there on the lonely moor, and there he gathered lessons of wisdom from him. And what was the subject of Wordsworth's poem? Resolution and independence. This was the subject of the poem, resolution and independence. And who was the person? The poor leech gatherer on the lonely moor. So from him he could gather the lessons of wisdom. Why should not he could learn something from the good natured conductor? I see no reason why lesser people should not take lessons in conduct from one who shows how a very modest calling may be dignified by good temper and kindly feeling. Here the author wants to suggest that we should learn something from the conductor. If there is a strong urge to be humble, to be polite, then we can be polite, we can be humble, and we can get successful in our attempt by showing good temper and kindly feeling towards others. So we should use that kind of a good temper and kindly feeling for others. That would definitely help us to have a more it will help us to have to cater the need of having the strong urge to be humble and polite. There is a strong urge to be humble and polite. So this is the word, that is modest calling. If we want to have to be more humble and polite, we can elevate it by our good temper and kindly feeling. So this is what we can learn from the conductor. Now this is the time to solve exercise. Now read the following sentences and use the words given in the brackets. Change the word class and rewrite the sentences. Lena was eating a very dash apple and obviously enjoying it. The word is crunch. Crunch is a verb, and we have to use it as an adjective. So Lena was eating a very crunchy apple. E will be the right answer. This picture looks colorful. How is the picture? Colorful. I'm afraid that your behavior is just not acceptable. Behavior is there, so it is not acceptable. I like my elder brother. He is very helpful. So everywhere we are using adjective form of the verb. Though verbs are given over there in the bracket, we are using adjective forms which are there appropriate in the sentences. Now we have to complete the following table. Put a cross if a word class does not exist. So generally there are various forms available, but if a form is not available, we can put a cross wherever possible. So the words are given over here and one form of them is given. So you can take help of any kind of a good dictionary and you can fill the chart. You can complete the following chart. Take help of a good kind of a dictionary. It is a matter of general agreement that the war has a chilling effect upon those little everyday civilities of behavior that sweeten the general air. With our sweet words, with our polite manner, we can change the situation, we can make it more comfortable, we can have ease. If we are speaking in a polite manner, we are using little everyday civilities which are there. We must get those civilities back if we are to make life kindly and tolerable for each other. Otherwise, our life is not kindly, or we can say tolerable for each other. In order to make our life tolerable, we have to take help of all these little civilities. We cannot get them back by invoking the law. Every time you cannot force a person to use the we cannot force the law to use it, and we cannot control other people's private behavior, or what can say what their private reactions. Every time law is not there to help us. What will help us in this situation? Little everyday civilities. So we cannot get them back by invoking the law. Every time you cannot use the law, the policeman is a necessary symbol, and the law is a necessary institution for a society that is still some the what lower than the angels. We can say this will be the perfect situation, perfect condition, that police is there as a necessary symbol and law is there as a necessary institution for a society. They are essential, they must be there in our society, but there are some limitations also. But the law cannot only but the law can only protect us against material attack. They are there, they are very necessary in our society. The role of a policeman is very important, and the law, it has also its own role to play in our society. But still here he wants to say that they can only protect us against material attack or physical attack. See, lower than the angels, thou hast made him man, a little lower than the angels. Here it means less than perfect. So those people will be the perfect one, the society will be perfect one, where only police and law will helpful, and they can do everything, they can set everything at its right place. But what here the writer wants to say that they can protect us only against material attack. Nor will the liftman's way of meeting moral affront by physical violence help us to restore the civilities. And in another condition, we found that there was an insult of the liftman, and he wants to make it correct. He was insulted by the passenger in the lift, and he wants to make it correct. So, nor will the liftman's way of meeting moral affront by physical violence help us to restore the civilities. It is not helpful always to use the violence or physical violence shown by the liftman. I suggest to him that he would have had a more subtle and effective revenge if he had treated the gentleman who would not say please with elaborate politeness. So, the writer wants to suggest that there should be another way to set the things right. We found that the liftman, he was insulted by the passenger, but the writer, he wants to suggest that he would have had a more subtle and effective revenge if he had treated the gentleman who would not say please with elaborate politeness. No politeness was shown by the passenger, but on the contrary, the writer expects from the liftman that the liftman should show elaborate politeness in order to make the passenger feel that he was wrong in his behavior. He would have had the victory not over the boor, that is the person, the passenger who is uncultured one, the person who is very rude and insensitive person. So, if the elaborate politeness was shown by the liftman, then he would have not only the victory on the passenger but over himself also. And that is the victory that counts. The victory is very important because we also get satisfied at that time. The policeman may lose the material advantage. The polite man may lose the material advantage, but he always has the spiritual victory. We found that if we are unable to have any kind of a what we can say, we cannot set things right, just like if we have that kind of an insult. But if we speak in that elaborate politeness, then we have that kind of a spiritual victory. Though we may lose the material advantage, but we have that spiritual victory. I comment to the life man, a story of Chesterfield. Now he was giving an example of story of a Chesterfield. Chesterfield is a Lord Chesterfield. He is English statesman, and he is author and patron of letters. At that time, what happened when Chesterfield was there? When Chesterfield was uh, when Chesterfield's reign was there, what happened at that time? When in his time, the London streets were without the pavements of today. There was no system or no facility of having pavements at both the sides of the road, and the man who took the wall had the driest footing. One man who was walking on the road, he was there, he took the road, and he was not giving any kind of a space to walk to other people who were also walking on the road. On the road, so many people were walking at the same time, but the person who is there in front of him, he is not giving any kind of a place, he is not giving any kind of a preference to other people who was walking safe, who was also walking on the road. So it is said that he had the driest footing. I never give the world to a scoundrel. Well, he was asked for a place to walk ahead. Chesterfield, he was there, and he was not he had not a enough place, or he has no side by which he can walk ahead. So what was the other man's reply? That I never give the world to a scoundrel. He said that I will never give side, or I will never provide place to a person who is a scoundrel, said a man who met Chesterfield one day in the street. See, it is very surprising that Chesterfield, he was walking on the road, and a person who is there in front of him, who crossed him, he said that I never give the world to a scoundrel. I never give place to a scoundrel. At that time, what Chesterfield said is very important. I always do, said Chesterfield. So this was, so what we can say, a more polite or elaborate politeness is there. So Chesterfield said, I always do, said Chesterfield, stepping with the bow into the road. So what kind of a, what we can say, bearing of Chesterfield was there? We come to know with the incident that he provided with the place, he gave the preference to the person who is also walking on the road. And he, what he said, that I always do, said Chesterfield. That is what we can say, elaborate politeness is there. Stepping with a bow into the road, I hope the liftman will agree that his revenge was much more sweet than if he had flung the fellow in the mud. So there we cannot compare these two things, that the physical attack or the violence is as much is not that much helpful if we show polite elaborateness to the person. We have to elaborate ourselves, we have to elaborate our politeness, we have to show full of politeness, we have to follow the courtesies, common courtesies. We, if we are full of manners, then other person who is there, he wants to insult us, or whatever type of behavior he is doing with us, he himself get insulted. And if the liftman, he took revenge in that manner, then his revenge will be more sweet. If he had flung the fellow into the mud, so it is more, what we can say, it is more powerful revenge. लेखाच्या शेवटी लेखक असं म्हणतात की जरी त्या लिफ्टमॅननी पॅसेंजरला चिखलात जरी फेकून दिलं असतं, तरी तोही त्याचा आपण म्हणू की जो रिव्हेंज आहे तो एवढा परिणामकारक झाला नसता, जेवढा की त्याने त्याच्या नम्र शब्दांनी किंवा त्याच्या पोलाईट बिहेवियरनी जो त्यांनी मिळवला असता, त्याला जो मिळालेला विजय हा हा खूप चांगला परिणामकारक झाला असता, की जेणेकरून त्याला जो माणूस चुकीच्या पद्धतीने वागलाय त्यालाही आणि स्वतःलाही त्याने एक प्रकारची वेगळी शिकवणूक किंवा वेगळा एक धडा त्यातून मिळाला असता. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट अवर लेसन ऑन सेइंग प्लीज. In the whole lesson we discussed about the importance of polite behavior, the role of common courtesies in our daily life. So the lesson is by Alfred George Gardiner. Exercise: read the text and state whether the following statements are true or false. Correct the false statements. Bitter problems in day-to-day life can be solved by sweet words. Yes, the statement is true. Great wars could have been avoided by a little courtesy. Yes, we can also say that wars have a chilling effect on the little upon those little everyday civilities of behavior. So we can say that great wars could have been avoided by a little courtesy. So once again, this is a true statement. Observance of etiquette in a normal situation is important, but more important is their observance when the situation is adverse. So this is also true statement of a fact. Words like please and thank you help us in making our passage through life uneasy. So this is a false statement. They help us in making our passage through life easy. The law permits anybody to use violence if another person is discourteous. This is also false statements. The law does not permit anybody to use violence if another person is discourteous. Now, the next exercise, select the most appropriate sentences which suggest the theme of the essay. We have to choose the most appropriate sentences from the 4 sentences given over here. The essay tells us about courtesy, civility, morality, responsibility, and control. The essay explores the difficulties that can be incurred by an individual when dealing with the public. One can keep one's peace of mind without having to lower themselves to the level of the perceived offender. And the last one, people with low self-esteem are generally difficult to work with and they look down upon others to get a feeling of superiority. So out of these 4, we found that the sentence A and the sentence C that will help us to get the correct theme of the essay. That the essay tells us about about courtesy, civility, morality, responsibility, and control. These are the values, these are the virtues we learn about them in this lesson. And the C, one can keep one's peace of mind without having to lower themselves to the level of the perceived offender, the person who is really truly offender, the person who had committed the mistake. So we do not have to lower ourselves to the level of that true offender. We can keep our peace of mind without lowering to themselves. So this can be the theme of our lesson. So sentence A and sentence C can be the theme of our essay. Now this is the time for homework. For homework, you have to go to textbook page number 22 and 23. Write appropriate expressions and words which you have to use while facing an interview. You have to write appropriate expressions and words. You have to use polite words while you are speaking in an interview. You are writing a letter of complaint. List the proper expressions that you would like to write. So while you are complaining about something, that time also you have to use polite language. You have to use proper expressions while you are complaining or you are writing a letter of complaint. So both these situations are totally different, but see, still the use of but specific language is essential. So what type of a polite language you are going to use while you are facing an interview, or you are writing a letter of complaint? So at the both the situations are totally different, but still the use of a polite language, the proper use of a language, you have to learn about them with the help of this homework. So complete your homework, do your homework in your notebook and maintain your notebook. So thank you students, we will meet in the next lesson. We have already finished our discussion on 1.2 with the help of 3 parts, and now you can solve all the remaining exercises which are there under the lesson. So thank you students, we will stop here. Bye.